promoted her as well. But now that we're down to the general, and are you trying to get Democrats not to vote for him? You can have your own personal views, which is fine, if you don't like El Sayed and others. But as a Democratic strategist coming on a national program, I think that's totally unacceptable, and I think that you're doing a disservice. What do you say about that?
Hey, Stanley, before we talk to Michael, you said you did not vote for
Dolly, where I come from, would I have called you a hillbilly?
If you had of, it would have been something very natural, but I would have probably kicked your shins or something. No, actually.
But when I think of hillbillies, am I thinking of your kind of people?
I think you probably are. The people that grew up where I was were the ones that you would consider the little Abner people, Daisy May and that sort of thing. They took that kind of thing from people like us, but we were very proud people with a lot of class. It was country class, but it was a great deal of class. And most of my people were not that educated, but they are very, very intelligent. Good common sense, horse sense, we called it.
Dolly, did you look like this when you were a kid?
Not quite.
I mean, you didn't have the blonde wig, but when you went to school, when you were 11, 12, 13, was it this about you?
Well, you mean the full figure?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant. Well, actually, I've always been pretty well blessed. As a child, I grew up fast. Other members of my family, have done the same.
My assistant asked me something, and I'm going to blame it on her because I wouldn't have had the nerve otherwise. Is it all you?
Well, I can't show you here on television.
I'll take your word for it.
I get asked that question. I always answer that by because people are in awe of the whole thing. A lot of people say I have. A lot of people say I haven't. I always say that if I hadn't have had it on my own, I'm just the kind of person that would have had me some maid.
You don't have to look like this. You're very beautiful. You don't have to wear the blonde wigs. You don't have to wear the extreme clothes, right?
No, it's certainly a choice. I don't like to be like everybody else. I've often made this statement that I would never stoop so low as to be fashionable. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. So I just decided that I would do something that would at least get the attention. Once they got past the shock of the ridiculous way I looked and all that, then they would see there was parts of me to be appreciated. I'm very real where it counts, and that's inside. And as far as my outlook on life and the way I care about people and the way I care about myself and the things that I care about. But I just chose to do this, and show business is a money-making joke, and I've just always liked telling jokes.
But do you ever feel that you're a joke, that people make fun of you?
Oh, I know they make fun of me. But actually, all these years, the people, has thought the joke was on me, but it's actually been on the public. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I can change it at any time. Or I make more jokes about myself than anybody, because I know, like I say, I am sure of myself as a person. I'm sure of my talent. And to me, and I'm sure of my love and for life and that sort of thing, I'm very content. I like the kind of person that I am. So I can afford to piddle around and diddle around with makeups and clothes and stuff because I am secure.
Welcome to Absurdity Space, where we say fuck Barbara Walters.
Yes, Barbara Wawa.
She was you forget how condescending
her and Diane Sawyer both.
And they hated each other. They both worked for ABC at the time, and they had beef, and they both condescended to each other, which is funny because they're two of the most condescending people you'll ever see give an interview, and they hated each other so much. And it still comes out in the fact that Barbara Walters obviously started The View, and I feel like a lot of what people pick up on in The View is the condescending attitude towards being a tastemaker. I feel like, and that definitely comes from Barbara Walters, who's like the main person, that did The View.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm in mourning. In mourning. It's been a rough day for me.
Dude, I woke up today. I woke up pretty late today, and then I looked at my phone, and it was like Tim Curry's dead. God damn it. What the fuck?
I was on the way. We were my mom and I weren't feeling well for some reason. I don't know what it was. Maybe we're getting the explosive diarrhea. We don't know. And we were, driving to the cash a check. Open up Twitter. First thing I see in the car, Tim Curry dead at 80. And I fucking broke down. My mom had to pull over and console me. It was bad. It was bad, guys. You didn't want to see me like that. That's why I'm in mourning.
Yeah. I don't know. Tim Curry was always my favorite.
Yeah.
I was such a fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show kid. I mean, you know that.
Yeah. Let's do the time warp. But my first time ever seeing Tim Curry, because I grew up watching the Wild Thornberrys, but you don't really think actors are, right?
Thornberry.
Yeah. And we got back home. It was Halloween. I was 8. Yeah, I was 8. I was like a pink vampire. They had VH1 on. We're leaving to go trick-or-treating. They have a Michael Jackson concert on VH1. And then we get back. I see Tim Curry doing Sweet Transvestite Rocky Horror. And I'm like, what is this? My mom's like, go back upstairs. And my friend and I finished watching it. And then I also watched it the same year because it would air on Sci-Fi Channel all the time, right? And so I was like, oh, cool. This is the same guy. It's all tied together. It's the same guy. And my friends always made fun of me for being very sensitive and, cry easily. So I was like, okay, all right. So what I did was I made them watch it, and now they have a fear of sewers and clowns to this day.
I saw it. I definitely saw it when I was like a kid, but I don't. That's not like a vivid memory for me or anything. I remember the VHSs. I remember the double VHS.
The one disc side by side too. I remember that as well.
Yeah.
But it's just it's just so iconic. He's so he was like a rage baiter and legend. Darkness.
There was wait, I gotta find this, but there was the thing from SNL went viral where it's he's giving his monologue and it's Eddie Murphy and
yeah, it was very racist and very dated. I was like, oosh.
Yeah, but he painted. He's like we're not gonna let you get we're not gonna let you get typecast. He paints him white.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
he also
famous,
does
famous, Eddie Murphy bit, White Like Me.
Yeah.
They're making fun of Black Like Me, but it's the opposite of it, because that one reporter in the 60s literally went to blackface and then walked around for he wrote that book where he walked around the South. He went around the South for an entire summer in blackface because he's like, I want to know what it's like to be a black guy, which he doesn't even if you see the guy's face, he doesn't look like a black guy. He looks like a white guy that painted his face.
The OG soul man, right? Who was this guy? See Thomas Howell?
But they wanted to make fun of that, so they had Eddie Murphy doing White Like Me, where he dressed up as a white guy and everything went great for him.
Yeah, it's funny because also he did the Mick Jagger thing, because that was the only time Tim Curry hosted SNL. God, Josh. He also did like a Mick Jagger thing. Him and Meatloaf did a Rocky Horror like merchandise sketch, which was funny because kind of poked fun at like the midnight showings of like all the stuff that the toast and the newspapers and the water guns and all that. But he also did a lot of musical theater. He was Amadeus. He did the stage production of Amadeus with Sir Ian McKellen.
He was Ian McKellen was Salieri. Yep. And he was Mozart, and there's that picture that was going around where it's he's on top of the throne or whatever like this.
Mm-hmm. And, and also Home Alone 2. They're taking all the wrong Home Alone 2 actors, by the way.
Yeah, well, because
I was
like, it goes in threes, and it's like, who is 80 years old? But actually, and then someone reminded me, George Bush is also 80 years old.
Oh.
Bill Clinton's 80 years old.
Damn.
They're all like there's a whole bunch of people that are 80 years old, but they're taking all the good ones. It's I don't know. I saw someone made this joke on Twitter. I forget, but they're like, it's kind of the curling of the monkey paw for Lindsey Graham, and everyone was like celebrating, and they're like, all right, we're gonna yoink away.
But the good ones, the good white people.
Dolly Parton feels like really like the end of an era, because I was trying to think of it, like who else has that unifying, like there's no one really. Everyone has to kind of make these. I mean, I think Taylor Swift was trying to go for that, but then she kind of curdled on it. Like everyone kind of got
someone
tired
who's
of
not
her.
Judgmental, who loves everyone, even the whores and homosexuals. That type of person. There really is none. But I will say this: when it comes to queens of country, Reba McEntire is probably the last true queen of country.
Yeah, and she was friends with Dolly Parton, like really good friends with Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
But there's just like, I don't know, it feels like there just isn't people that are able to like transcend ideological and like partisan and political divisions. And it feels like in this day and age, probably back then, it was harder to get involved in politics, probably as like a celebrity. Now it feels like it's kind of impossible not to.
Yeah. Because if you don't say something, you condone it, whatever,
Or just in general. I mean, like even Dolly Parton like had to make like a good, but like whatever, like statement on Black Lives Matter, and it's like
giving money to Black communities, being trans.
Why you asking Dolly Parton about Black Lives Matter?
It was funny. It was like she's like, our white asses aren't the only ones that matter. I'm like, oh damn, but she was so funny. Her zinger. She was very quick on her feet.
Yeah,
when it comes to coming up with like comebacks and stuff.
It was a really good. I was watching Conan O'Brien when he interviewed her, and she was telling the story about the first time she came to New York City, and a guy thought she was like a streetwalker because of how she was dressed. They threw her out of her hotel. It was like the first time she'd ever been there. So she had like when she was young, she like really like dolled herself up when she was young, and so they thought she was a streetwalker. They threw her out of her hotel, and she said this guy, and it was like back in like probably like the 60s or 70s. It was like when New York City was like really bad. And so the guy came up to her and thought she was a streetwalker and started trying to like kind of like get close to her and like wouldn't take no for an answer. And she had a gun in her purse, so she whipped out the gun and pointed it at him, and then she laughed and the other person laughed, and like I don't know. She's like,
she is funny.
Story though.
Also, it's a bad week for the Muppets too. They've lost two legends if we really think about it.
Yeah.
Everyone protect Michael Caine.
People were like, I don't know. They were like, why didn't Dolly Parton talk about Gaza like that shit? And I was thinking like, why is Kermit the Frog not condemned?
Yeah. The thing is like, I feel like some people who like boast about their activism kind of like are like celebrities who boast about it are kind of annoying, because like they'll do like subtle things, like here's the link to a charity, which is fine, here's but like if the whole thing with like Gaza or whatever, it's like she was doing a whole bunch of other stuff more important than like any of us ever could.
Well, it was all rooted in community, and I feel like that's something that is like we're globalized now, like everyone is expected, and like they made like Dolly Parton comment on like Ukraine, which is like, I don't know, she's like, I want to talk about the Ukrainians, and it's like, I don't know, dude, like it just feels like
so forced,
living in a very globalized age, and so everyone's expected to like say something about things that are happening across the world, and a lot of times I wish celebrities would say less, because a lot of celebrities are stupid people. They're very good at whatever they do, but they have very stupid opinions, and I wish they would shut the fuck up. But it's I feel like a lot of times they just kind of have like a PR written statement or something about like things that are happening like thousands of miles away, which is like, it's good to care about things thousands of miles away.
But what would a celebrity speaking out do?
Yeah. Well, people, I don't know. People were acting like Dolly Parton could have gotten the Israelis to stop committing genocide.
I guess, I don't know, but it's just like, really, this is the hill we're dying on. And also, too, I hate the fact that when a generally good person or someone who's not really the most problematic person dies, oh, well, here's this one thing that's problematic about them. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's like with Tim Curry, Rocky Horror. Like I had, one trans person be like, well, it's a bad trope for trans women. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, this is 1975. I'm like, at a time there was really no good, very raunchy queer representation.
But it's also like Tim Curry didn't write Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes, it was Richard O'Brien. He played a role.
And it was about his own bisexuality. And it's like,
yeah. Also, I'm friends with his son Linus, and we were messaging each other. I'm like, how's your dad doing?
he has like, I don't know. He had his own like complicated relationship with that, and he was writing about it as like a theater actor. They didn't expect that was going to be like a movie either. He
didn't expect to be a hit, no less. And also, too, Tim Curry wasn't someone who was, I feel like Tim Curry was probably gay or bisexual. Like he wasn't really one to discuss, but we all know his greatest love was Miss Piggy, apparently the one that got away.
In some ways, though, I'm kind of like, he did not look good for the last like.
The stroke. People.
Hey, I'm not a guest. I host a co-host.
We're co-hosting our show together. But it was like people were like, oh, the COVID vaccine. I'm like, he had a stroke in 2012 that rendered him paralyzed.
Yeah,
fuck?
He did Operation Time Warp, and he went back in time.
Yeah, exactly.
He got the COVID vaccine, and then he gave himself retroactive
death or something. Like it was so fucking stupid. I'm like, are you people really like? I'm like.
Or Tim Curry. We were talking about doing the worst witch last year when we did witches.
I know. Wait a minute, we haven't even done it. We've only done Legend. We've only done like one Tim Curry movie.
Yeah. I remember seeing him in Muppet Treasure Island.
I know, and it's funny too because everyone's like, "Oh, Michael Caine, in the Christmas Carol, he literally he played it like a serious actor, and all the Muppets were like serious actors." But with Tim Curry, I'm like, he was an honorary Muppet.
Well, the thing that's famous about like Michael Caine, thing that's famous about like the Muppet Christmas Carol is it's the most accurate representation of Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol that anyone's ever made, because everyone makes their version of a Christmas Carol, which someone's got to make a Tale of Two Cities. Like why is it always?
I like a Divas Christmas Carol with Vanessa Williams. That was a good one.
But it seems like they're always doing like the Dickensian novels they're doing. It's always like the same couple. Like I was looking
he's done other ones,
There was that Johnny Depp like Scrooge movie that was coming out, and I was like, they should do another Dickensian. Like they haven't done a version of A Tale of Two Cities since 1980.
Damn. Well, it's funny because Tim Curry just kind of stumbled his way into acting. Like he kind of like that's how he got into Hair.
Didn't you watch Clue recently?
Yes, I did, and now I feel fucking bad. I'm like, I did this. Also, I saw a TikTok yesterday of a girl saying, if Tim Curry dies, I'm bringing him back to life, and I'm going to kill him. And I'm like, well, how do you feel now, bitch? How do you feel now?
That's so us-coded.
I know, it really is.
Then that's why I'm speaking into existence. Donald J.
Trump.
Donald J. Trump.
Summon it. Apparently someone said September 28th, and I'm like, ugh.
It was so fucking funny when those people were like, when those witches were casting curses on Charlie Kirk. And then
I was laughing my ass off reading that article as he was dying. I was like, oh, this is bad.
But I want to get your I'll shut up, and I want to get your thoughts on 1 second on the South Carolina Senate primary yesterday. That
apparently the number one concern of South Kakalakians is men in women's sports. That's what Darlene Graham has said. I don't know about that, but all I can say is what the fuck.
It's I don't know anything about Ralph Norman. Like why
he's a career politician. Like he's well known, but because Darlene is the heir apparent to Lindsay's, whatever. Of course, she gets seniority and gets the seat. She gets to win. She gets, what she wants.
But why? Like, what's going on here? Because it's like, it's kind of fascinating. Like the upper part.
Because I think it's because he represented that the upper part within like the state legislature and all, and parts of that. He was more like upstate. From what I understand, so he's more familiarized. It's like when they had the primary and Mark Sanford only got Charleston.
Yeah, because he was
You know,
mayor.
it's like that. Yeah. Before he became, the governor who abandoned his wife on the Appalachian Trail. So that's why the results look like that.
Yeah, it's kind of fast. I mean, it kind of looks like a strawberry.
It really does. Oh my god! Now I know what fruit South Carolina looks like. The fruitiest fruit.
It's like I don't know. It's kind of it's just fascinating that it's that upper part, that upper like what is it, like 8 counties or something, 10 counties.
Of course, I know exactly where my county is.
Which is how far down is?
It's literally like the rectangular looking one, right on the cusp of Georgia.
That big one.
Yeah, it's Aiken. Yeah, we actually finally got like a trampoline arcade place here. So when my Australian mod Snaps comes, we're gonna be doing that stuff because I'm like, finally we have enough Yankees moving down here to have fun again. All we have are like mattress stores,
a lot of
and vape shops.
Just from personal experience, like or personal whatever. Like a lot of people move down to South Carolina.
Yeah, a lot of people like golfing and horses because they can't afford to live in Florida and they don't want to be underwater. So more inland South Carolina is a lot nicer.
Well, we have like I mean the majority of
and also SRS too helps too. Some people actually come down here for work who still don't want to like retire. Well,
a lot of the people I know, like most of them, if because a lot of people moved away. The ones that people moved obviously like like nearby, but like a lot of people that have fled New York, I guess, and it's always taxes. They're always like taxes are too high. The people that I know that kind of have left New York, they either go to Florida, most of them, right? Like the vast majority go to Florida. Mm-hmm. But then I know like quite a few people that have gone to South Carolina for whatever. Yeah.
And it's mostly like inland, like the Midlands, like Aiken County, Columbia, Greenville. It's very much that.
And then I don't know, people always post like they get like a lot of land for like pretty cheap. And so they're always like, this is my house now. And it's always like, you know what? I'll give it to you. This does look a lot nicer than the house you were living in here. Yeah. Like my friend Ariel moved down there, and his family, he moved down there with his grandma, and his grandma's like a boyfriend kind of or whatever, and then they like immediately died during COVID, and so like the rest of the family just still lives down there, and it's like,
yeah. And for those who don't know, I get told I look like Tim Curry from time to time, depending on my makeup. So I did a subtle Frankenfurter tribute almost.
Hey, Rocky.
Yeah. Man, it's just so sad.
All right, you want to talk about the big
thing?
Story of the big story of the week. This is the full. I guess there's 2 clips, but this is the first part of the full clip.
Yeah.
As an anti-Zionist Jewish person whose temple is reform and deeply Zionist, it's difficult to even approach trying to change their minds. No, I understand that. I understand that. Look, to the anti-Zionist Jews in my community, you have a very tough job ahead of you. Well, you have to go back to your communities and try to get your elderly relatives to understand that this connection between Israel and Zionism that is expressed over and over again through a lot of these Jewish institutions, okay, is teaching people the idea that Jews are monolithic. And this is it's a very dangerous mode of propaganda. And you want to know why? Because people don't fuck with Israel any longer. And if Jews in America keep putting this idea out there that they are singularly invested in Israel, eventually someone's going to come around and take action, not against the state of Israel, mind you, but against American Jews. Okay? We're teaching people the wrong lesson. At the end of the day, American Jews do not prioritize Israel, but they do prioritize anti-Semitism. And that's precisely the reason why a lot of this propaganda that is facing the American Jewish side from a lot of these Jewish outlets, right, will tie the two all the time. And we hear that from outlets like ZBS as well, right? All the time. And we hear that from outlets like ZBS as well, right? when the host asked Angie Nixon, like, oh, well, don't you think we shouldn't stop giving weapons to Israel at a time when anti-Semitism is exploding? Where's the connective tissue between these two events? American Jews do care about anti-Semitism. It's understandable to care about anti-Semitism. They don't care about Israel. So how do you tie the two? You say, well, Israel is the only thing standing in the way of the next Holocaust happening. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So every single time you have prominent Zionist Jews come out and be like, no, this is anti-Semitic. To oppose Israel is anti-Semitic. You're teaching people the trope of dual loyalty. That's what you're teaching people. After you teach them that, you can't turn around and say, oh, well, this is dual loyalty. This is anti-Semitic. Because at a certain point, people are not going to give a shit. And we're already past that point. It's that simple.
Yeah, I was thinking about there was that synagogue attack a little while back, like a few months ago, where it's like it was the guy whose family had just gotten bombed to death in Lebanon.
Yeah.
And he was a Lebanese guy, and he drove his car into a synagogue, and then I think he got out and like with a gun or something, or I can't remember what the exact chain of events was, but then the police gunned him down. But I was thinking about that, and it's like that's someone who's directly been harmed by the Israeli state, taking that out on American Jews.
Yeah.
But it's like the connective tissue is constantly reinforced. Like right after that, Jonathan Greenblatt came out and made the direct connection that he was like Israel, the Jewish state, and like there was just this long thing where I don't know, it's the connection is constantly reinforced by people like the ADL.
Yeah, and why is it that only Muslims have to atone for the extremists within the religion? It's never Jewish people, never Christians, Catholics, whatever have you. It's only, you don't think that every religion has extremist groups? The problem is we there's so many Muslim extremist groups that they're just the main focus. So I'm like, but that's what Hassan is saying, and it's like when 9/11, especially after 9/11, everyone's like, well, you guys got to condemn this, otherwise everyone's going to think all Muslims are the same, and it's like that's what he's trying to say. And Ezra Klein and others said the same thing too, but it's no problem when they say it.
The main vector of like, or at least traditionally of like at least Sunni extremism has been Saudi Arabia, and we provide them with money and weapons and weapon systems.
They did 9/11.
We might even provide them with a nuke sometime soon. And I feel the same way about Saudi Arabia and our relationship to them that I do about Israel, where it's like I feel like that's got to be completely cut off. It just doesn't work. I mean, in the case of like Saudi Arabia, they don't even have the what do you call it? Like the fig leaf, where it's like, this is the only democracy in the Middle East. You got to help democracy, which isn't true, by the way. Lebanon is also a democracy. There's other democracies in the Middle East.
Yes.
That's why people have turned around and been like consistent democracies or whatever. But I don't know. It feels like consistency would say, and I think this might happen after the Iran war, not because we want it, but because but we've been kind of pushed out of our military bases in Saudi Arabia, the UAE. I mean, who knows what can happen with that? But there's like this feeling that I don't know. It's like Israel gets the most attention because the propaganda or whatever is pushed the most. They don't really ask us like anything about Saudi Arabia, like our relationship to the Saudi royal family.
It's like a secret, like a best kept secret. Like it's like we don't talk about that, because for a while there, a lot of people were calling us conspiracy theorists for saying, hey, Saudi Arabia, was kind of behind 9/11. They funded,
I think it was 15 out of like 19 hijackers were Saudi.
Yeah, and they're like, that makes no sense. They're our allies. I'm like, they did it just to prove
they're the only democracy in the Middle East. Wait, fuck, no. Wait, the wrong one. We're kind of Saudifying though. Like people have said like, oh, we might be in the future more like Israel. Like I even saw like a Nick Fuentes clip where he was blaming Twitter really pushes Nick Fuentes clips on you, by the way. Something about the algorithm. But like he would say that the reason that the left doesn't like
what?
the reason that the left doesn't like Israel is because they think that America has become more like Israel. We're becoming more like Saudi Arabia is what we're becoming more like. Like the Jared Kushner thing where he's not actually in the government, but he's like making policy and he's just like the dipshit son-in-law of the president. Like he's a little princeling. Like we're Saudifying. Everything is turning like gold everywhere, like really tacky and gold, just like everything in Saudi Arabia. Like it's becoming we're sports washing our like corrupt, evil administration. Like we are Saudifying. We're becoming like Dubai. You know, we're like Dubai is already like Miami, I feel like. Yeah. And then now everything is Miami.
And on top of that too, you know, the constant, you know, Hassan Piker said this, Hassan Piker did that, Hassan's like David Duke, Hassan, and it's like, guys, you are spending more time on him than Trump. Sometimes I don't even know what the fuck Trump's doing because they're so focused on Hassan, right? Like I'm like,
always say David Duke. They never say like the KKK still exists. There's still like a grand wizard, but like there's still like a grand like, you know, there's some people in all of those positions. But David Duke was in the KKK in the 70s, and after that got elected as a Republican politician to the Louisiana state legislature. But it's like it's always David Duke. No one ever talks about whoever runs the Klan now.
Yeah, because he's like the most prominent member in modern history.
Miami. It really is though.
Welcome to Miami.
There's like, I don't know. I was listening to like a lot of TrueAnon, and they kept making the connection between Miami. Like Miami is like crypto capital of the world.
Yeah.
Dubai and then El Salvador. And there's like there's a weird like the way that El Salvador is now, the way that Dubai is now, and the way that Miami is now. They all have the same like aesthetic and the same like fixations, I guess, and the same like I guess future, like I'll call it future forward, but I hope that's not really the future, where it's like they're obsessed with crypto, they're obsessed with like I don't know, there's just certain things. I mean, Dubai chocolate, they're selling that everywhere now as like a way to, you know,
is it really all that good too?
I don't know. I tried it once. It's just pistachio chocolate. I don't know.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
But this is the second Hassan clip, because it's two parts that Mike Rogers decided to cut together as one, and I felt like it's important to
Also, that guy DSA Watch, who's a 14-year-old, it keeps honing in on Abdul, who's a capitalist who's not in DSA. So everyone's like, "Are you an idiot?"
Yeah. Also, shout out to Palki. She was on with us for that one.
Yeah. Election coverage.
I wonder what he has to do to gain the support of Oakland County's Jewish community. Yeah, he has to drop his critiques of Israel. That's what it is. Now, is Oakland County's Jewish community in unison making this demand of Abdul al-Sayed? No, of course not. But if there isn't opposition from Jewish figures in this community that are loud about the divergence between this representative and their own desires, then the media narrative will set in. Even if they don't realize that this media narrative presents Jews as single-minded and singularly invested in the continuation of the Israeli apartheid. I don't know how many different ways I can explain this. I don't know how people don't recognize how dangerous this predicament is, how dangerous this is for Jews. You're running around basically tying your entire identity to a country that inevitably will be seen as basically Jewish ISIS. And you're saying, as Jews, this is all we care about. You're making anti-Semitism worse. Republican U.S. Senate candidate Mike Rogers is endorsing a one-year moratorium on new data centers. Look at that. Look at that. They are positioning themselves and reacting to the popularity of our policies, our positions. Look at that. Yeah, Ben Jacobs says, Ben Jacobs reports on Jeremy Moss's take. Adam Johnson says, I'll translate for those unfamiliar with these serious outreach threats. Moderate on Israel, support apartheid and the arming of genocide, albeit some mild scolding about Netanyahu, or else I will withhold my support and help Rogers. This is a variation on Hakeem Jeffries' further conversations thread. There are pro-genocide uncommitted movements everywhere for those with eyes to see. That's precisely what is going on here. These guys are shamelessly saying that they are uncommitted. They're uncommitted to Abdul al-Sayed because Abdul has an anti-genocide position that is broadly popular, and these guys can't contend with that reality. They want Abdul to take a less popular and immoral position, a position that he does not hold. It's totally ridiculous, and we should not let these people forget.
Yeah, so that was about Jeremy Moss, who won Stevens' old district.
And that thing, like, it was so funny because I woke up at like 2:00 yesterday, no, on Monday when it blew up. I'm like, because I saw Abdul's comment, I'm like, whoa, what happened? What happened? I'm like, because that really was like a manufactured controversy. That blew up fast because I had no idea.
I'm gonna try to look it up while you're talking. There's the they cut together two statements to make
two different clips. Yeah, it meshed them into one.
I wanted to play those two clips for the reason that I feel like
because I was like, what? I'm like, wait, who what right, like moderate centrist dipshit consultant told Abdul al-Sayed this was a good idea? Because it don't matter, they're still shitting on him regardless. Never capitulate to these people because it don't fucking work no matter how hard you try. At least he was a bomb ass motherfucker on Jesse Waters' show.
Yeah. And I think he tried to do the thing that progressive politicians love to do, where they have it both ways, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to fully." It's easy to. Well, I mean, I guess this is showing that the Hassan side is winning stuff, but
yeah.
I see a lot of. I see. Oh, here. I think this is it. Okay. I see more of, maybe it's just my algorithm, but typing in like Mike Rogers to Sam Piker, like I see more of the full clip than I do of
the Jeremy Moss one.
Yeah.
And you want to know why? Because people don't fuck with Israel any longer. And if Jews in America keep putting this idea out there that they are singularly invested in Israel, eventually someone's going to come around and take action, not against the state of Israel, mind you, but against American Jews. Okay? We're teaching people the wrong lesson. I don't know how people don't recognize how dangerous
that clip.
People don't recognize how dangerous this predicament is, how dangerous this is for Jews. You're running around basically tying your entire identity to a country that inevitably will be seen as basically Jewish ISIS. And you're saying, as Jews, this is all we care about. You're making anti-Semitism worse.
Yeah, so they cut those two clips together. Yeah, really, I mean, you could see they didn't even do it. I mean, it's that DSA.
Like they didn't try to like mesh it together. It's like, oh yeah, this is like a shoddy editing job. You could have done better than that.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I would get really tied up in it and forget to actually post the video, because it would take so long for me to like try to cut the video together in a way that was smooth. And then, but everyone now today just does it so that they don't give a fuck anymore. Whatever happened to standards?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know there's some beef within the Hasanabi clipping, community, but like, it's important to have all these people clipping him with the full context, with threads, with paragraphs explaining what he's doing, because then you got these people clipping this and then clipping that and then putting it together as it's one singular statement.
Yeah. So, supposedly, DSA Watch, by the way, from what I understand, I mean, an account that got 100,000 followers.
They bought it. They bought those followers.
Yeah. Well, but supposedly it's someone who used to work for Eric Adams. from what I've heard.
Also,
I have not been able to confirm that. Like I've tried. Like,
but also people think it's a 14-year-old kid because there was a one of those like voice meetings on Twitter or whatever, and you heard his voice, and it's like this guy doesn't sound like he's going through puberty. He's like, well, I use a voice disguise. I'm like, well, if you're gonna sound like what's his face, that one dorky actor who's been in like Grease and Dexter, I would pick a different voice to hide my identity a little bit better. Not like a dorky voice that sounds like this.
I don't know. I just with AI, I think that's very like I think you can pick any voice now. But I don't know.
Better voice.
I think they should do there was this video I saw the other day where a guy walked into a meeting on data centers at his like local did you see that? Did you see the data center thing? And the guy walked in dressed as Darth Vader?
Yes.
With the voice modulator, and he went, or no, it was flock cameras. He was like, the Empire needs flock cameras. You should have used that. I am USA Watch.
I'm like, I don't know why. I'm like, do something more emasculating, But like, it's just getting to the point where it's like all they want to talk about is Hassan, and it's like the more you guys talk about this and just focus on him and not like Trump and what's been going on, people are not going to be turned on to vote.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of the point. Like they would rather Darth Vader is also against flock. No, Darth Vader is four flock cameras.
Yeah, more people dress up as villains who are all about like big government watching you. I feel like people be like, oh fuck.
Or people should take the big brother eye, and they should put it on flock cameras everywhere. I don't know. I just Darth Vader was in New Orleans City Council. Yeah, I want to find this, but it's so funny. I don't know. People are like panning it, like, oh look. I hate like the stupid, like a lot of conservatives have like this really like dry, ironic tone to the way that they talk.
Like, oh, this looks so stupid and lame. Like, okay,
well, no, there's just like I can't even really put my fingers on exactly like the way that like the tone of it. I think it's like dry irony, but like the way that they all talk is like the same, and it kind of bugs me out.
Yeah.
They all like the same kind of thing about it. Wait.
Huh.
The Emperor is a fan of block, and we must continue utilizing block technologies so that we can follow and surveil the rebel scum as they move from playground to playground, from playground to pool, from pool to gymnasium, because we all know that the block cameras are not only following the license plate readers, they are following children. They are following children in parks and gymnasiums, and we need this. I need this so I can stop my ex-girlfriend. Also, it should be known that the people of this town, the poors that want their storm drains cleared, they should not have their storm drains cleared. Because in order to do that, we will have to raise taxes. And how will the people trust the city council when this city council continues to vote for surveillance technology that imprisons them? Miss Campbell, you must work on your Jedi mind tricks. Do it like this. And when you do it, make sure that when you're double speaking them into telling them that police services have become more humanitarian, make sure that you don't emphasize the detail that you put a ban on camping. You put a ban. You made criminalizing homelessness illegal, and that is why there is no such thing as humanitarian policing for the homeless, because we have effectively criminalized.
He kind of lost me there.
Yeah, I was like, wait. Okay,
you started bringing up like you started bringing up other issues, and I was like, man, you should have just kept it to flock cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of love it though when it's like when you realize like, oh shit, they're actually letting me talk at this city council meeting. So you start bringing up.
No one is like, there's not a whole lot of people there. Like
it never is. I mean,
especially when an issue like this, there should be a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, I think that I don't know. I think that it would go really well if they had a show that was just like random moments at city council meetings.
Oh my god, that'd be so good.
there's so many like iconic American like city figures in every city. I feel like that just that get
like
up there
Parks and Rec on like steroids.
Yeah, they just let people attention deficit. It is though. It like I don't know. There's like a minute though where you realize like I think when you're in front of people and you're like kind of nervous or whatever it is,
and you just go going,
they're letting me talk, and then you start just kind of thinking like, okay, what other issues do I care about?
Yeah.
I bet John Oliver is kind of pissed that he did his flock camera segment a couple weeks ago because he would have started out with Darth Vader.
Yeah. Also new soap opera star John Oliver, by the way. He's been on Days and General Hospital.
I'm fascinated though. Both with flock cameras make sense, but data centers right now are both the right and the left, both like red states and blue states have kind of built like a lot of outrage, and there's like a movement around data centers in particular. Like Greg Abbott had to come out and do a moratorium on data centers. Ron DeSantis, I think at one point had to come out and do a moratorium on data centers. Like there's been on both right and left. Like this is kind of an issue that comes around. Although it kind of pisses me off that like it feels like there's so many issues right now that need attention, and it almost feels like the data center one is like, oh well, we're adding another one to the list, and it's like I can think of so many other things that like I wish had that attention on them.
But also too, a lot of them have already been built in our polluted communities, so it's like I guess it took some sacrifice to see how bad they are or whatever. But also too, some people are like, are they really collecting data? What else are they doing? I'm like, they're probably doing a lot more than just because everyone's like, well, what about the jobs? I'm like, their data centers they have computers, they have PC parts that run the centers. They just need the people who build them and then like give them maintenance every once in a while.
But I think 90% of there was an insane statistic last year. I think 90% of new GDP growth was to NVIDIA in particular, and they were all building data centers.
That's why I'm glad I got my PC when I did.
Have not gotten built yet, but they're putting all this money behind it because of AI.
Yeah,
but there's
a lot of PCs are AI powered now, and I'm like
different concerns, and this came up with the Wisconsin thing too. There's a bunch of different concerns where it's like one of them is that NDAs, like these data center companies or like the tech companies make when they sign these deals, like sometimes it's Microsoft, because Microsoft is obviously OpenAI's like sponsor.
Yeah.
They make these politicians sign these NDAs that they can't talk about what's in the deal. So basically you don't know what deal your politicians are making. Like that's the standard practice now.
Yep.
And and they're building it on like farmland a lot of times that people need, that's like prime farmland. Like there's all
farmland, like poor areas that are like we're building these data centers to invest in these communities and build them up. I'm like, not really. If you want to make something look nicer, you've already done them you would have also invested in like businesses in that part of town. Instead, you're building a data center.
Yeah, I mean they're aesthetically
ugly. They're giant black blocks. They're not like, they don't like, and I was talking to this with Taylor Lorenz. I'm like, China has their data center thing figured out. They're not they actually help give electricity to the cities. They are not using up energy. They're not using up water. They did the research and figure out how they can actually benefit. But we don't do that here. We deregulate. We like to rush into things without really doing the proper research or ways to make things, alternative ways to implement this stuff. And I mean, I wouldn't expect less from America, from our government.
Yeah. Damn, Anna just got off work and was like, do you guys still want me to come on? And it was like, damn, we have 10 minutes.
I know. Well, there's always next time.
Yeah. But yeah, it's also like they make that really loud, like buzzing sound that really drives people insane.
Low water pressure, random blackouts throughout the day, like because they got to switch over. And that's why there's this whole there's probably gonna be like an 18-month blackout because our power grid hasn't been updated. And that's why I keep telling people who are pro data center, I'm like, I guess you could be pro data center, but the problem is we're not going to build the infrastructure to have these work. That is the problem. We don't.
Yeah. Which is assumably, if you did the moratoriums, that's what it would be used to do.
Yeah,
it would be used to build alternative infrastructure. But all these power companies are already raising rates at like an exponential rate, and it's like,
I'm in a negative because they took out 2 months worth of electric bills for me. At least I'm all caught up.
Yeah, I feel like noise pollution is one of those things that like doesn't get discussed
annoying.
that much, but like really does mess with people's quality of life. Like,
Yeah,
if
it
you
fucks them up mentally.
yeah, and I mean, I guess like
Different from a
sometimes
noise machine, mind you. That helps you go to sleep, but this is annoying.
yeah, well, I think sometimes like that doesn't get thought about as much, but it's like I don't know. Sometimes you get used to whatever it is. I mean, if it's consistent enough, I guess. But like these data centers sound like they make like a horrible buzzing sound that everybody talks about. That like I've seen videos of people playing it.
Yeah, drives me nuts. Also, guys, after this, we're gonna do a whole Tim Curry stream over on Cosmopolitics. We're gonna watch all of his movies. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch parts of Rocky Horror because we can't watch all of them. We're gonna watch Clue. We're gonna try to watch Legend. We're gonna watch the Tales from the Crypt episode where he played a whole family. It's gonna be fun.
I feel like Eddington was the best data center movie.
Yeah. It really came to
everyone
soon.
in town is like clearly getting driven insane by the data center.
The epitome of like a leftist is always being right too early, and I feel like editing came out way too early, like right before all this hit.
Yeah. I was at a hotel this weekend and like it had HBO, and I was like drinking a little bit with my friend. We were waiting to go to this concert at like 4:30 or whatever. And why is every like EDM show now at 4:30? That's not when I want to do that.
That's weird. That's too light. Shouldn't it be like at night and everything?
Yeah.
Fun?
Well, it usually goes until night. But both times I went to these shows, they ended at which I went to the afters this time, so it was cool. But it like it went till 11 and started at 4. It was like that sounds like those are not the like. I feel like it should start at like 5 and go or 6 or 7 and go to like 2. Like I feel like. But they want to make money on afters, I think. So it's like they want you to get, they want to get you coming and going. But yeah, I feel like I was watching. So I turned on the TV at this hotel and I was watching Eddington for a little bit. But then I was like, yeah, I can't do this when I'm trying.
It's too fucked up. It fucks me up. Yeah. You can't do it. It's just too on the nose. Too much of our reality.
At least not while I'm like drinking and trying to have a good time.
Yeah, that just makes you miserable. You don't be drinking and miserable.
So I watched SpongeBob instead.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited again with this whole Tim Curry thing because a lot of people are like Bill Skarsgård or Tim Curry. I'm like, here's the thing though. Like, and I always recommend people if you want to watch a documentary, Pennywise, the story of it, which describes how they made that miniseries, and because that's one of the minis. I feel like when you think of miniseries, which ones have stood the test of time and are still culturally like relevant? It. I can't really think of or V maybe, but like I can't think of a miniseries, and Roots too. But like,
yeah,
they're like at the peak of like the TV miniseries of like the 80s and 90s. I feel like Stephen, it's like the only one that's like still stood the test of time. And I mean, it's dated.
The original like backlash to DEI kind of thing, like culture war thing. Roots came on just as the election was happening, where Ronald Reagan won.
Yeah, and also that was the first time slavery was actually like portrayed. Because I
don't know, like millions, like that was huge. Like millions of people were watching Roots, and Ronald Reagan was doing like his classic like why can't we be positive about America anymore thing.
Oh god, and what's fun is and of course. What's interesting too is that like my mom's all like a lot of like boomer white folks or liberals or whatever are like, I know how bad racism was. I watched Roots. I'm like, awesome. Stuff happened after slavery towards black people. Okay, you can't just say I watched Roots and I know everything.
Every time I think of Roots, though, I think of
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, but there's the Lance Reddick Eric Andre skit where he comes out. And he's like, I wish I was LeVar Burton. And he's dressed as Kunta Kinde. And he's like, I wish it was LeVar Burton.
Yes.
Can I that's 100% going to get flagged, right?
Yeah, that would get us flagged on YouTube. We can't do that.
Yeah. But he's like, where's my iconic slave role?
Yeah, and now but also too, I feel like, and I think some black people would agree that
maybe it's fast enough that it wouldn't get us flagged.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to. It. But I feel like it got to the point where it's like people of color, even though slavery was being portrayed, it's like, oh, well, now all black roles are like maids and slaves. And it took like 20, 30 years for, post The Help for like, oh, Jordan Peele and Ryan Coogler. And, there's a few, Spike Lee's that are like, oh, we're actually finally portraying black people as something more than just servants, finally,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to do the Tim Curry movie marathon. Yay!
Alex Haley kind of fell off, didn't he?
Yeah.
After he got like accused of making up a lot of the details in the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever like proved that or anything.
Yeah, I think he.
But they turned it into like Malcolm X, like the great Spike Lee movie, and then I don't know. I feel like Alex Haley.
Denzel Washington. I was like, I really was like, is that really Malcolm X? Because he looked so much like him. I was like, perfect casting.
I don't like. I think the whole thing was that there were questions about because it was after Malcolm X died, so he couldn't confirm or deny. Like, so it was written kind of as if the narration was being told to Alex Haley from Malcolm X, and people started disputing details in the narrative or whatever. But I don't know if that's like. I don't think that it was ever proven. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying I'm just saying I remember that was like a huge scandal or whatever at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, I was there. I was alive.
Yeah, you were there in 1960. What year was it? 67, 60 something.
Yeah, it was like right after his death. I'm pretty sure. But it's the autobiography of Malcolm X as told to Alex Haley. So it's like he did himself that favor at least, where he was like,
he told these stories. So
yeah, it's October 29th, 1965 is when it first came out. I feel like that's his way out or whatever of like getting that's his way out of getting kind of blamed for anything. He's like as told to me. I mean, I don't know. I might have heard some stuff wrong.
I don't know where the tapes are, but I can tell you.
Yeah. But yeah, so you're gonna do your Tim Curry streamathon. We're on break for 2 weeks from, I guess now less than 2 weeks because it's
movie night.
Yes, yesterday was 2 weeks on movie night. So we're I'm taking it easy. This is probably the one absurdity space stream we're doing in that time because I think next week on Wednesday I'm gonna be away.
Yeah.
There's gotta be
there's movies you can watch that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Also, you go to aren't I coming on Saturday night to talk about Michael Jackson's ghost for his birthday? Also, guys, Forrest's birthday is on the 29th. Yeah, my birthday is on the 29th. Wish him a happy birthday.
And Michael Jackson's birthday. And that's why
your brother's Elvis. It's kind of weird how your
my mom's Dolly Parton. My mom's January 19th.
How the fuck did your family manage to do that?
I don't know. My dad doesn't have anything, but I might go see Camp Miasma, like Teenage Sex and Death for my birthday. I might go see that, and then I want. There's like a couple movies I want to see right now. There's that one, and then there's the I can't remember the name of it. It's the one that Olivia Wilde's in. Not
the one that Conan loves, right? Not the
No, I saw that already, and I loved it. But no, there's the Greg Arrakis movie.
Oh yeah.
I really want to see that. Greg Araki, whatever. Greg Araki. I Want Your Sex. That's the movie.
Oh, like the George Michael song. I want your sex.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really, really good.
A lot of movies about sex in the title. See, take that, sexless Gen Z. How you gonna handle that, huh?
They were not happy.
Of course they weren't.
Did you see that? Did you see that whole thing where Greg Araki, who made that movie, he said something about like going out into the world and like meeting people and how he feels like authentic connection is really important and he wanted to show that on screen. And then all these people were like, "Oh, authentic in-person connection, you ableist piece of shit!" And there were all these Gen Z people just freaking out. Like it was the most inane comment I'd ever seen.
I can't wait for Gen Z to grow up a little bit because this us millennials were kind of the same way, honestly. But it's just kind of weird.
I mean, I think the only thing that stopped us from being as crazy is not fully growing up online. You know what I mean? Like
it was a place we visited. Yeah. We had our foot in both sides of the door, the outdoors and then the indoors. We were growing up when things were starting in this infancy stage. And I always point that out too.
Yeah. Well, and I think because I feel like just online gives you full on brain damage. Like
and some people are not willing to admit that. We can admit that. You know why? Because we have mental self-awareness.
Lorenz can't admit that.
There's a lot of people who can't. I mean, it's just.
I feel like a lot of people do. I feel like a lot of people do it, but I have not seen that many people that.
Or they do it as like a bit. I'm like, do you really want to be this way online? It's kind of embarrassing.
But yeah. I mean, so we wanted to do the stream today though. So
and then in a few minutes we're gonna start our Tim Curry memorial service, and I'm gonna put my veil back on.
Wait, so which ones are you doing?
We're doing Clue, It. We're gonna do Tales from the Crypt. We'll probably maybe do Legend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, they
2 parts of
let
Rocky
you,
Horror that we can get away
let
with.
you stream. Well, I guess on Twitch they probably do because it's Amazon, right? They let you.
Yeah, well, also too, you know, a lot of stuff's free to watch on YouTube on TV.
He's never seen Clue, never seen It, never seen Legend.
Well, you better stick around then, Josh. You got a long night ahead of you. Also, what was funny too before we go is that people forget that Tim Curry used to.
I do hate Jonathan Haidt as well. By the way, there's a lot of stuff Taylor Lorenz is right about. It's just the being online too much is I feel like it's very damaging.
And people forget. We're gonna watch some clips too if I can find them. Tim Curry used to be a frequent guest on Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher, and he used to be smug towards Ann Coulter, and I'm like, yeah.
And he has a movie podcast. How does he miss so many films? He has a movie podcast. I've never seen any movies.
Peace and love.
But I mean, that is what I would like. If you know, like part of the fun thing about having a podcast. If you haven't seen as many movies, Coyote versus Acme is coming out.
I gotta see that. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Once I get money.
I think it goes right on. I think it's going right on HBO Max. Right. I don't think it goes into theaters.
No, it's going on in the theater.
Nice.
It's for release. Yeah. Because they're saying the box office ain't gonna do well. I'm like, who cares? I still want to see my icon.
Damn, so there's a lot of movies I need to see. I was thinking about just going to the movies on my birthday and just like trying to stay for multiple movies.
Yeah.
Or not trying. I mean, staying for multiple movies, but trying to.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, we'll pass it off to our good friends on American Wasp. So you know the other Alex, not Alex Haley. Malcolm X didn't tell him anything, I don't think.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye.